Yes, good evening, board members and guests and friends and the Southwest ISD family. I'd like to introduce Mr. J.S. Hernandez, who's going to lead us in an invocation, followed by the pledge of allegiance.
Let us reflect on how to best serve the students and staff of Southwest ISD. Allow us to work together well, to listen and respect each other's talents and skills, and to be watchful and mindful of the responsibilities we hold as a governing body. May we rejoice in the privilege of watching our students grow into enlightened citizens of the community, and may we maintain focus on the dreams and aspirations of those we serve. In your name we pray.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you, Mr. Hernandez.
Thank you, ma'am. I got the short chair tonight. No, I'm fine. All right, the next thing on the agenda is recognitions.
Yes, sir. Again, this will be Mr. Hernandez. I'd like to introduce some very special guests, a good friend for Southwest ISD in San Antonio, and we have a very special recognition to a very special group of folks this evening.
Well, I'd like to introduce Region 20 Executive Director, Dr. Jeff Goldhern, who will present the board with their plaque for being the Regional School Board of the Year. TASA created the School Board Awards program in 1971 to recognize school boards whose dedication and ethical service have made a positive impact on the school children of Texas. It is an excellent way for districts to recognize their hardworking, dedicated board members. If I can have the board members just please stand in the front here, and so we can have the presentation begin.
We're going to make you work a little bit. Congratulations. Congratulations. I will. Is any of our parents here tonight?
Bravo.
Mr. Fraser and Dr. Bursteff, if I could, just a couple of comments. One, how proud we are of Southwest ISD for achieving this award. This is a board that I know has had a lot of stability for a lot of years. I've been to board meetings here over the years and recognized some of the faces. Some of the things I wanted to mention as far as this award, these are the types of things that TASA looks at as they consider different boards for this award. So, you know, does the board function as a policy-making board and understand the lane of policy versus administration? Does the board adhere to board policies? Support of the educational performance of the school district. Support for educational programs and improvements and transformative initiatives in the school district. Evidence of long-term planning and improvement. Provisions of financial support for the school system, so understanding the importance of having financial support to implement initiatives in support of kids. Participation in workshops to continue to grow and learn as a board. Placement of the welfare of children served by the school system above personal and political motives. Understands the role of public relations, including building community awareness about the importance of the school district and all the good work the district does. And then maintenance of supportive relationships among the board members and only working as a team of 8. So this board exemplifies many of those, so I congratulate you And we're really proud to have Southwest ISD recognized, and thank you for allowing us to come in and spend a little time with you this evening. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Just like to also point out, this is Region 20 that encompasses 17 different counties, and I believe 84 ISDs and charter schools. And so to be recognized as the Region 20 representative board team is something to be very special. And we are very proud of our school board, your generosity, your support for our students, and their will to put in the time and effort at every corner. So thank you all so much. And congratulations, Southwest ISD Region 20, 2017-2018 School Board of the Year. Very proud of you.
Thank you.
One other comment, I want to recognize Dr. Goldhorn is here. We also have Ms. Linda McNally, who also is a representative of ESD 20. The best thing about Dr. Goldhorn, he is a fellow Aggie. Like him being in the house.
We don't hold that against you. Usually when you're nice like this, you're wanting a raise.
It's an executive session, so.
He'll take it.
It's on the agenda. All right, we need to go on with the agenda, and the next thing, do we have any other recognitions tonight? All right, then let's go down to consent agenda. Board members, do you have any questions? There's a lot of things on it.
I move.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. All right, citizens to be heard. Mr. Rodriguez, anybody sign up tonight?
Yes, sir, Mr. Nola. Mr. Nava, I'm sorry, Mr. Nava.
Good evening, members of the board, Dr. Versteff. My name is Ramiro Nava, and I am a close neighbor. I work down in Somerset ISD. And what brings me here today is to give you a huge thank you. If it wasn't for this team, I would not have reached a lifelong goal of finishing my doctoral program. So muchas gracias to this team here at Southwest ISD. And if Dr. Goldhorn would not have led, this was not planned, I could have spoke firsthand to the professionalism of the school district, from Ms. Weezar accepting me here all the way to Dr. McAndrews providing me with the paperwork that I needed to be able to conduct my research here. So here is your story. And so it's published, and so I want to present this to you, Dr. Versteff. And again, just a big thank you to Southwest ISD. I am forever grateful to all the work that you've done for me, and you have a friend in me forever, yourself and Southwest ISD. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
If I may, I'd just like to say that Ramiro's family and my family have known each other for years. We went to the same church. I graduated with one of his sisters. I've known Ramiro for a long time, and I say this with great pride. Congratulations. And on behalf of our board, anything we can ever do for you or your district, you know, we're here. We're neighbors.
So since May, we have to refer to Ramiro as Dr. Nava.
No, we're all friends, so you
Dr. Ramiro Nava.
Did you make an
This
A?
is the story of Southwest ISD Board.
Wow.
I don't know if you wrote about Mr. Frazier, but I was sure.
That was the 10 pages there.
There's plenty. It is your work, and it's already been rendered, so thank you very much for the work
Sir.
that you guys do.
Thank you.
are really an example, to testament to the school boards here in Texas, so thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yes, we're proud of that.
He interviewed this, right?
Mr. Rodriguez, did anybody else sign up? All right, moving on to items of information, construction update.
Sir, here we go, Mr. Brajas. Just a quick update on, to start off on Legacy High School. The district-owned furniture is all in, package 1 for all classroom and package 2. Today, we actually installed the tables that go up on the press box, so that's 100% complete. On the other district furniture or equipment, the last of the projectors are being currently installed right now, and everything's buttoned up. I think we have a couple of trainings left from the contractor left to do and finishing punch list items. Press box, we're still working through it, doing that punch list, but we'll be able to utilize as intended for this weekend practices and scrimmages. So we're good to go. That's the update on Legacy. I don't know if you guys have any other questions in regards to Legacy High School.
Is the elevator working?
The elevator, we didn't pass the inspection on Monday, but we will have an operator for Saturday.
That's a long way up.
No, we'll have an operator on Sunday there to take people up and down as needed, so that was our plan B. And
Might get stuck, it's still, it's just starting.
Mr. Frazier's in there.
It works, we just need it.
yeah, it works. There's one thing that was pinned down, and we're working through it, but we'll have an operator there on Saturday to aid any people that will need to get up there on the press box. So.
I'd like to know if you would be the first rider to work out the bugs, sir.
If it doesn't work, I'll be the first victim.
I have signed the monitoring paper, so at least it'll be monitored if it gets stuck.
Thank you.
All right, now moving on to Phase 1 of Southwest High School. We have Rafael Bedoya with Fluger Architects to give us an update.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
It's hard to follow the first two items on the agenda. On behalf of Fluger, I'd like to give kudos to the board and to the administration here at Southwest. For me, it's been a pleasure working with you for this past 9 years, and I hope to continue to do so in the future. For the record, I am Rafael Bedoya with Fluger Architects, and here with me is also Mark Boblet from Marksman General Contracting. If he wants to add any comments, he's more than welcome to do so. This is a quick project. Obviously, this is our third report that we're doing, so it's basically been taking most of the summer to do. It's quick. We're almost there at the end. The report is divided into 3 parts. The first is the attendance office and main reception. Most of the work in there is done. They're doing final finishes on the paint. They're going to start putting ceiling tiles. The cabinets are in. We're just waiting on some of the countertops to be in and should be in by the end of the week, so they're tightening up there, a few things there. The bullet-resistant glass for the safety vestibule is also up, so we should be finishing up here in the next few days, or next week probably. The second is the CTE building renovations. That's where the majority of work took place over the summer. It still looks a lot of work to be done, but we're getting closer. We're expecting some units by the end of the week that'll allow us to close up the ceilings and start putting ceiling tiles and make it look mostly finished. On the second floor, they've already installed VCT tile in the corridor, and we'll be moving down to the first floor. The cosmetology area still needs a little bit work, and I'll put a little note to that here at the end. The athletic showers, the work has been complete. All the plumbing rough ends, the fixtures are set in, the tile is set in, toilet partitions are going to be installed here by the end of the week as well. And going back to the CTE building, what I wanted to mention is that we did have a fire marshal walk earlier in the week, and there has been discussions with them. The goal is to finish the project and have it ready for kids. That's our plan A, and we hope to accomplish that based on the work that Marksman is doing. Our plan B would be that if we have any issues with the units, the fire marshal has asked that we might have a fire watch. I don't know if you want to mention.
It'll be a temporary certificate of occupancy with a fire watch. We are requesting that through them. The only area that wouldn't get us there would be the cosmetology lab, but all classrooms will be ready and set. Fortunately, 100% of the building needs to be complete for you to get your full C of O, but they have opened up that option to be reviewed through the chief, and we'll be submitting that first thing tomorrow morning. I've already gotten the schedule from Ms. Bunsen. That's one of the things the fire marshal requested, was the schedule per classroom, amount of kids that will be in there. Anything that we can provide to them to give clarification on the amount of load that the building would have, he said it would be helpful. So we received that, and it'll be ready to send out first thing tomorrow morning. So that's our plan B.
Mark did share with me here before the meeting that the units are anticipated to come a few days early, so that'll be helpful in installing those units. So.
Anybody have any questions?
No, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else on construction?
No, sir.
All right, the monthly tax office report.
Yes, sir. Last month I wasn't able to bring you June's, and so June's is also in there. And as of June, we were up over 3.5% on our tax rate collection. Well, unfortunately for July, we fell back below 0% collection compared to what we were last year. But overall, we're about 98% of collecting our tax rate. So we got still a couple of months to.
Brandon was on vacation on
Yeah, it was a slower month, but we're on 98% overall, so we're pretty good.
All right, board members, financial report, investment, gifts, purchases over 50,000. Any questions on those? James, you get your check for 50,000?
It's in the mail.
Oh, that's the story of my life. All right, calendar of events. Anything anybody wants to add on calendar of events? All right, budget update.
That's me, sir.
Yes, sir.
So we're getting close. I've asked for a public hearing on the 28th, Monday the 28th at 5:30. That'll be the more extensive budget hearing, and budget update that I'll present to the board and to the public. This is a shorter version. I wanted to go a little faster, and I've been giving y'all updates monthly for a long time. And so some considerations to consider towards as we're getting closer to the end, special sessions closing up, getting close to the end, and I don't know, I'd be telling you a fib if I tell you what they're actually going to do. So we're still waiting on that. Our certified property values did come in, so you're going to see the new calculations with that involved in our revenue side. Our ADA, we're setting at 12,820 based on our attendance and our ADAs over the last year and the 6 weeks. So this is a good planning amount for us. I've been talking about the budget shortfall on the INS side due to the tax swap, and so I'll show you how that works in this. And then a recommendation tonight that we will talk about the compensation plan, and just so you guys can have eyes on fund balance, I'll put that back in here. So on our M&O side, after putting in the certified values with the ADA, we actually saw a little bit of increase in revenue, so that was good based on our tax collections. So I was anticipating it to be about 115.9, went over 116, so we did get a little bit extra revenue there. So our revenue projection actually is based on, because of those penny swap, we actually got a pretty good gain, so that's going to really help us. The INS side though, and that was M&O, sorry, for maintenance and operations. And so overall you see an increase here from this past year, so you're seeing the difference. But also you got to understand that we had to make up a lot of difference from when we were here, okay? So on the INS side, you'll notice on 17-18, our projection is that we are going to raise about 14.8, which is pretty close in line with what we're making this year. Our tax rate, I plan to bring a tax rate which will be exactly the same tax rate as we had this previous year. So it didn't go up or go down, so it won't affect people's property values as far as what the district is taxing. Unfortunately, our debt payment will be $17 million, right over $17 million. So there's going to be about a $2.2 million difference that we need to make up. And the idea is that this year's fund balance that we roll in October from 16-17 covers that $2.2 million. And then that's how it occurs throughout the years. So 17-18 revenue, just basically adding in our state aid and our taxes. So there's our tax levy. Here's our foundation program, which is where we receive our state aid from Texas. And then our other sources of revenue, this includes our investments. This includes, gate and athletic events and how we make money on different things. Also includes our Medicaid program and our reimbursements. And so overall, that comes to about $120 million. And then this TRS on behalf, this is a flow through. So basically we have this charged to us, but we are given this money by the state. So it's really not, it's kind of just a flow through revenue. And so total is about $126 million. And so you'll see it's kind of like about a $6 million difference from this previous year in revenue. Now, on the budget side, I broke it down by our different classifications. This 6100 is our payroll, 62 is contracted services, this is 63 is supplies, 64 is miscellaneous, 65 is a debt payment we have for a QZAB that's coming to end after this year. So we have one more payment on that QZEB, and so that will go away. And then 66 is all our capital outlay when we buy anything over $5,000. All our Function 81, our capital outlay projects. So that's where that is. And so that's where you see a little bit of a cut. So total is about $120 million, almost 121. There's our TRS on behalf. So you're seeing about 126 million in expenditures, and that's all the expenditures we have accumulated based on adding the a lot of the stuff that dealt with legacy, and so you see that difference there. Looking at it in overall, expenditures without changing the compensation, I left this slide up and just put in the figures, and so we're going to be able to balance the M&O budget based on our revenue and our expenditures, but you'll see the deficit there of 2.1, almost 2.2 for the INS side. So maintenance and operations balanced budget, so that's what I plan to bring to the board and to the public hearing to approve a balanced budget. But you'll see that we'll have to have a entry on fund balance to cover the INS payment, and that entry is going to be from the fund balance from 16-17 this school year. Questions?
Do you have an amount for that rollover?
I don't right now. I'm trying to work that out.
An estimate?
I'm hoping it's 3.5.
Okay.
We did have some funds that we did not use when we're dealing with what we have when we did the tax swap. So there's some savings there. Then also, we didn't spend the whole $7 million on legacy. We got close.
Right.
But I mean, and then we're basically hoping that within budgets that throughout the district that everybody didn't spend every penny that we gave them. So I mean, there's funds there that's made up. And then we have teachers that go in FMLA. Then there's savings there. There's teachers that we budgeted for that we may not have filled those positions. So that's kind of how we get fund balance. There's different scenarios.
So because of the debt payment, then really our rollover is really going to be about 1.3.
Correct. So if we roll in $3 million, I needed 2.2 to pay the debt payment. So really, we're only rolling about 800,000 in the fund balance. But it's better than not rolling anything in. We want to make sure we're rolling always that debt payment in,
Right.
if anything else.
Okay.
Tonight, I'm going to bring up the compensation plan, and you'll see that we're going to bring something to keep the pay scale, pretty much the pay scale that we have for 16-17. But separated from that, we want to bring a retention incentive plan of a one-time payment in December of $750. And this will be paid out of fund balance. So some of the things that we're still working out, and that's why I'm not going to bring that plan tonight, is who gets that. And so previously what we've done, it was any employee that was full-time that paid in the TRS, and also any employee that worked after, that we hired before October 31st. And so we actually had some deadlines, some timelines. And so that's still kind of being worked out. But approximately we have about 1,986 employees. That's kind of where we are right now. And so that cost, because we have to take into consideration the district has to pay benefits to that, is about 1.5 from fund balance. And that'll be a one-time cost of fund balance. That'll be budgeted next week or next time I come back with the balanced budget.
And everybody gets a 750 irrespective of their pay scale.
Correct. Yeah, it's for every employee, all employees that are either full-time paying in the TRS and hired before October 31st.
We did this once before, Brandon, do you recall?
It's 2010, 2011? I think it was 2010, 2011.
And the reason being, you all know, that it had to be the operational side.
Correct.
Correct.
Correct. You have a question for me, ma'am?
Well, I
No.
was just asking, I got a little sidetracked.
Okay.
Did you say that means no raise?
No raise, correct. Instead of, in lieu of a raise, we're going to do an incentive retention plan.
However, based on what we know, with this plan, it puts us in the top 3 compensating
Correct.
districts in Garrett County.
Correct.
Most likely the top 2. This coming year.
Correct. So there was 2 school districts that actually gave a raise that were going to pretty much go above us, and that was Northside and SAISD. With this being put into place, we're going to either be right with them again, or neck and neck, and I didn't do the calculation with the plan in there, but I mean, we're still the top 3 paying school districts in San Antonio, even if we didn't give the 750 one-time incentive plan, incentive check. So our starting pay is 52,725, and right now, as this fiscal year, we are top in San Antonio. After everybody that's given raises so far, SAISD and Northside will pass us by like $250. So they'll be like $52,950 or something like that.
Did I miss a meeting where we decided against a raise completely? Did I miss the meeting?
I think that's just a recommendation.
Correct. Yeah, I've been
We
bringing,
discussed about the recommendation.
correct. And well, tonight I'm going to bring a compensation plan. I'm going to bring the actual 2017, 2018 pay scale. And the district's going to recommend that the pay scale be the regress pay scale of 17, 18, or 16, 17. So basically, to put it in this terms, what I'm making this year on the pay scale is what I'm going to make next year. So I'm going to make the exact same. So that's how it's going to be across the board.
And at the last meeting, they just told us that these were the possibilities, 1%, 2%, or this.
So you're gonna show us what 1% or 2% is, or we're not even gonna see?
Well, I can put it back up there. I have it on this slide. I just hid it because we're to a point where I've been showing that. Now I'm just going to, the district, we're going to make a recommendation, but I could put it back up there.
Basically, $1
Yeah.
million for.
Correct. So that's what it breaks out to. When we give a 2 and 3% raise as a district, because we've been consistently giving that, it's been about $2 million added to the budget. And so a 2% raise would generate a teacher about 100 or 1,000, right over $1,100 added to their paycheck. But then doing it that way we would put it over 12 checks. Doing it this way, we're going to give them one check at Christmas time, and it's kind of like to help both the district and the employee do something to help them.
Is that like when you get, like when Dave gets his bonus at work, you don't really see a lot of the bonus because Uncle Sam takes it? Is that gonna be?
Well, we did the calculation because you have to pay. We can't just
Right, I
pay.
know that.
So it comes out to like $670 after you take out the benefits. We're not taking out the insurance, but they have to pay Medicaid, Medicare, and then they have to pay a portion of TRS. So it'll end up being a check for like $670 per employee across after taxes.
I think our pause really has to do, because we always want to stay competitive and bring a raise. You don't want to go more than 1 or 2 years without doing this, because then you have to get this big percent jump at some point
Correct.
that will be competitive with. But I think because of the variance between where we are right now, where everyone else is, we have the opportunity not to add to the operational side, because Brandon has the room in his INS fund balance right now to mitigate part of that payment, the debt payment that
Correct.
we have coming up with the swap. But next year, you don't have that available.
Correct.
As I understand it.
So we're trying to make room so that next year moving forward, when we come back, we can have the opportunity to go back and start giving a raise. But to make sure, because it's our first year doing the tax swap and making sure we can make our debt payment, and then adding the 2 schools back to back, we've added a lot of capital, a lot of personnel. And so to still help and not do just because, some districts didn't give a raise at all without even having an incentive plan. So we don't feel like we should do that because, yes, they had some insurance rates that they're going to be impacted by, but at least do something that would help.
And we still might get directed by the state.
Correct.
So
Hopefully funded.
if we were to give if we were to give a raise, it would be across the board? right?
Correct.
Raise, and you're saying this 750 is not gonna be across the board? But
750.
you said it was something qualifying?
Well, yeah, like all full-time employees would get a raise, and that's pretty much who we give a raise to anyways. Full-time employees that are in TRS.
But when we give a raise, do the part-timers get a raise too?
No. No, they get a raise based on the fee that we pay for that part-time job. And so, I mean, most of the time, no.
Okay.
Categories
Yeah.
like substitutes.
No, because substitutes, the rate's this,
I know
yeah,
substitutes.
correct.
So we're not leaving anybody out that would
Correct.
normally get a raise?
Correct, and then that's why I didn't bring that part this
Okay.
yet, because I want to really investigate and make sure that doesn't happen.
Okay.
Because we can always go back and fix it and make sure that we pay everybody that should be getting a check.
And
So.
how do you think the teachers are gonna feel about this?
I mean, I don't know.
I'm just asking because we're
yeah.
the ones that are gonna
Correct.
get all the
I think that's,
shares.
it's, and personally, it's a Christmas time is $670.
$500 in my work, so.
I know,
Correct.
but I'm just
Yeah.
concerned about how the teachers are gonna
Correct.
feel. about it.
I think that they know that, and this goes back to the TASB study, and I can only speak from the data. I mean, we're paying our people really well. We've done a great job, the board has.
We have to make sure we give them before Christmas so they can.
Correct, correct.
Historical perspective from 2010, 2011, it went over very well.
Okay.
When you look at that amount up there, really equates to about 1.8% raise added into where we currently are, but it doesn't put the obligation of coming to our operational side. We can kind of work that out for the next year.
Correct.
We have to make
I'm
a
just
decision.
concerned.
No,
how
I
they
agree, and-
receive it, because we don't want them to be,
Correct. We want to stay competitive
Yeah.
with the people around us, but I can tell you right now, if we had to do this for multiple years, then people would pass us and and teachers would probably leave. I mean, I don't know if they would, but I think that we're still really competitive, and at the same time, we're still doing something to help. And so that would be, so tonight, just
What
to,
shape would you be in if we hadn't have done the penny plan?
sir, you probably wouldn't be having me right here right now. You'd be like,
you'd be out collecting more taxes?
correct.
We'll be over in Somerset.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm glad back then we had to, I was like, well, what happens if it doesn't happen? Now, I thought about that a lot last year, and then it happened, so now I'm good.
Yeah,
So,
we're good.
the extra revenue is really helping, just because of the,
You worked your tail off.
Thank you,
getting all it
Brandon.
together.
He's done a great job.
thanks. Thank you, sir. All right. And so really, the last slide here is for fund balance, just so you can get a picture of where we are. This is where we started the year last year at 57, but we also had some rollover items, and we had some, this was for legacy, that we had to buy all the equipment, all the furniture, and then we bought some property. So this 8.4 is what's going to hit fund balance for the 16-17 school year, which we have budgeted now. And so it's going to be about 49 million. And I put it right here, 2.8, but this is actually going to be 2.2. So hopefully our fund balance in October will be around 49, or maybe a little more if we didn't spend every dime that we had in the budget this year. And so you'll see there's that debt payment. So that's going to be reoccurring on here because of the swap.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we're going to be dealing with over the next couple of years. Any more questions on that? Okay, I'm done.
Thank you, Brandon.
Uh-huh.
You survived?
I survived, sir.
Good job, Brandon.
Yeah.
All
One
right.
more time. 28.
Next thing on the agenda is the superintendent, and we'll postpone that to after executive session. Going down to item 8, human resources, the T-test appraisers.
Good evening, Board. Every year we come to you, we bring to you all the principals and assistant principals to be approved. All the ones listed on paper have completed all the requirements to be approved to appraise our teachers for this coming year for T-tests. So I ask that you, at this time, you approve the list below.
I move that we approve that.
Says yeah.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. Appraisal calendar.
Along with approving them, we have the flexibility to design a calendar of when we do appraise teachers. And what we put together is take it off the first 2 weeks of school to let everyone get acclimated and make sure they receive the training, but also took off the early release days. In the month of April is the major testing where all campuses are testing that week. We blocked out that week, along with all of our appraisals have to be done 15 days before school is let out, and hence is why the last 3 weeks of the school year is blocked out. So this is the calendar we're bringing to you to approve for dates that teachers can be appraised.
Questions?
I move. I second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Second appraisers.
Second appraisal, every year we do have where teachers can ask for a second appraisal. So at this time, we're bringing the 2 names of Lisa Bolte and Anna O'Toole to be our second appraisers. Teachers do request those appraisals.
Questions?
I move. I second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Compulsory homebound instruction.
Hello.
Hi. Currently, for our school-age parents, we offer homebound instruction at their home. We have a homebound instruction teacher that goes to them and services them there. What we are proposing is to be like some of the other school districts where we provide homebound instruction on school site. We would have the homebound instruction teacher teaching the students here on site. With doctor's permission, we would need to request for a waiver, and so I'm here to ask if we can have that permission granted so that we can move forward with the waiver request.
These are young students that are parents?
Our school-age parents, and right now we provide homebound instruction during the, the prenatal times and postpartum times when they are on homebound.
So how
by
do they
doctor.
come to school if they have a baby? Do we?
We would need a doctor's release, and what generally happens is we would have, like, students that have a regular childbirth at 5 days, we could request with doctor's release that they come to school. They're not there the full day. They would be in school 4 hours a week still.
4 hours a week.
So it's not a lot. And we do have the PCI learning site that would provide the child care, so it would not cost us any money. They're already there. And they have expanded to be able to take care of newborns. And right now, it's 6 weeks on up.
Is that enough time for parents or mothers that have like a cesarean for example?
No, for them, it would be long. We generally, for the other school districts, do is 10 days, whatever the doctors are okay with.
But if the student can't come on campus for any reason?
Then we would still have the homebound instruction teacher go to their home.
Was there a reason we're making the change?
Well, this was my first year in the position, so I was able to see some of the things that have been taking place. And we have one homebound instruction teacher. She travels a lot. Sometimes they're not there. And if they are there, they're distracted by television or eating, or people come in and out. And so she even did testing at their home, so we can bring it to the school side.
And are we going to provide transportation, or they?
We currently have transportation provided.
How many
Yes,
students?
You would pick them up and the baby?
We do that right now.
Oh, we do?
Yes.
How many students do we have that are?
Well, right now, we're looking at October, we have about 4 students that would need that instruction.
Last year, there was a culminating activity for the PE students, and it was really kind of enlightening to listen to those parents talk about their experience in school.
At least it was, no, it's my sparks with the state all the way.
So it's a great outreach and service to keep our students in school. I think what we heard was the factors of doing this in the home created some of those unforeseen obstacles, and give that environment for kind of school.
Yeah.
School go over there.
Where are they gonna, what classroom? Where are they gonna be, at one of the high schools?
No, since we are currently housed at Building 200, we have a classroom that they would be able to use.
The Southwest Academy.
So-
The former Southwest Academy.
And the PCI center is right there, so the classroom for the girls will be right across the hall.
So it's in the same area that it's always been?
Yes, yes, yes.
Other questions?
I'm just trying to think when I had a baby. 5 days later, come into school.
And that's not set in stone. I mean, that's something that we can,
I went to the movies.
Well, yeah.
whatever the,
I didn't go back to work.
I asked that question when we were visiting other school districts. If we can't have them at school, why would you bring them for homebound instruction? They said it helps the girls to get used to packing their diapers and backpacks, and because when they're home with them for 6 weeks, they don't. It's hard to go back.
They do the 4 hours all at once? Or will they come like an hour a day, or?
We can do it we have to create a schedule. Some districts do where they do have them 4 hours a day all at once, and then they're done.
Yeah.
And if they need, other services, it might be 6 hours if they need special education services.
Thank you.
Anything else? Need a motion?
I so moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. Change order FO local.
Okay.
Dr. McAndrew is going to cover policy, couple local changes.
And I need you to start on page 2 forward. Some local policies.
Thank you, ma'am.
Here we go. Page 2. There you go, sir. Good evening, members of the board and Mr. Frazier, and Superintendent Burstiff. We've had a lot of review and discussion within the Division of Administration and Human Resources, as well as within senior staff. We've done some presentations for you, mainly by Dr. Escobedo. And after a review and a discussion, and by analysis of the results of a parent community survey that we issued, it was determined that there were certain changes to aspects of the discipline management techniques that we felt like needed to be modified in alignment to reflect the community survey. So if you look on page 2, this is the document that we received from TASB at the very bottom of the page. And basically, I know you're used to these policies. The insertion simply reads, the board prohibits the use of corporal punishment in the district. Students shall not be spanked, paddled, or subjected to other physical force as a means of discipline for violators of the student code of conduct. On the next page, you'll see the items or the lines that have been crossed out because of the replacement of the new language. So you may want to.
So the standing practice, that basically, this new policy would reflect basically 99% of campuses have basically administered discipline management techniques. So it's not a huge change, but basically it formulates it in policy. This is a change in our philosophy, and that we think that we can accomplish our goals without the use of having that in our policy. It's something that I support. And we've had a lot of conversation with staff, and we've surveyed our community. And one of the survey questions basically was pretty straightforward. Do you support the use of CP in our campuses? And that one question came back that 55% did not support that, 45% did. It's basically, I know there's kind of two camps out there, but we think that we can accomplish a goal from our district without having or having that part of our policy to support CP.
Did you say 45% said yes? They do support it?
45% would support it, 55%.
Wasn't there another one that,
There is another one, that's great. I don't have a question in front of me, but I can tell you in our conversations with senior staff, reading that question is a little ambiguous. It really can be very confusing. Basically said with parent permission, I don't want to, with parent permission, basically would you, in a nutshell, I don't have it right, would you support
Are you okay with it?
the use of corporal punishment? And I think it was like resounding 18%, 83% affirmed, then 18% did not. But as you read the question, it basically is, do you think
You should notify the
parent permission should be
parent.
part of that? And I think that's
Yes.
what they're responding. The one question that was pretty direct in our conversation, our dialogue, was that one question that said, do you support it or not?
How many people answered? Just out of curiosity.
Do you recall how many surveys responded?
There was a pretty good number. Francis ran those
Did y'all say like
surveys.
300?
I think there was a
300
couple
is
of
the number I remember as well.
We sent it back out again.
I can
Just-
get that information.
Yeah.
It was in the hundreds, I know that.
do we have any other questions? Need a motion?
I move.
I second.
Motion made and seconded. All those in,
You approve?
all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carried.
Thank you.
All right,
Good job, sir.
set the date on the public hearing.
Good evening. I'm here tonight requesting approval for a public hearing to discuss the optional flexible school day program that we utilize at Southwest Academy. We've had this program in place for the last 4 years, and it's been pretty successful for us. This past year, we had 45 students on the program. Of those 45, 27 graduated. 9 are returning to us and will graduate hopefully this first semester. We have another 5 that left to other programs, and 4 others that withdrew, and hopefully will be coming back to us. So for the most part, a lot of our kids are able to have these flexible scheduling options that this program provides. What students are required to do under this program is they are required to be here for a a minimum of 4 hours a week. If they are here for those 4 hours a week, we can collect full ADA on them while they are here, and they continue to work on their schedule, and so we can provide that option for them. In order to submit the application for this upcoming school year, we need to hold a public hearing to discuss the success of the program or how it's been doing and get public input. And once we do have that, we need to submit that application. And so I'm requesting approval for a public hearing on Monday the 28th at 5:45 p.m.
Or are we going to whip through those meetings?
I'm going at 5:30. I'm going at 5:30, ma'am.
We're not gonna ask any
He's
questions?
going at 5:30.
Well,
No time for questions.
you can ask as many as you want. We'll delay.
All right. Need a motion?
I move. I second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. Move down to business and financing pay scale.
Pay scale, I have passed out the pay scale. It has the pay scale with the different pay stipends and scales in there. You also have the stipend list that we have for the district. And the 2017-18 pay scale will be with no raise. In lieu, we'll be doing the retention plan. So I'm asking the board and recommending that the board approve the 17-18 pay scale as presented. And it's the pay scale that we have this year.
We approve the current pay scale as presented by Assistant Superintendent Brandon Crisp.
Your second?
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. Certified appraisal rolls.
Yes, sir. The certified appraisal roll, tax roll came out on July 25th. And this statement has the total amount appraised, assessed, and the taxable value of the school district. And you can see that our actual taxable value property is about 3.1 million. And so that's a big difference of about 149 million. There are some stuff still under protest. And so there are some things that may change this number slightly. But as far as now, on the actual appraisal roll, we're about 3.1. We had some new value come to the district, some new property value. There's about 118 million added to it, which was about a $49 million difference from the previous year, which we had, and last year was about 69 million in new taxable value. The average market value of a residency in our district, as far as appraisal, is now 113,000, which was about 106,000 a year ago. So it's up about almost $7,000 in appraised value. And so today, the recommendation is that the board approve the 2017 appraisal roll as submitted.
Questions? Need a motion?
I move. Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. Public hearing to discuss the 2017-18 budget.
Yes, sir. This is asking for approval to have a public hearing on Monday, August 28th, to discuss the 2017-18 budget and the 2017-18 tax rate. And so the public hearing will be held here at 5:30 on the 28th.
Questions? Need that motion. Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. Date to finalize the budget.
Yes, sir. This is to have a special board meeting after the public hearing to adopt the 2016-2017 budget amendments for this school year. Also to adopt the 2017-2018 budget. And so that the board is set August 28, 2017 at 6 p.m. or immediately following the public hearings as a date and time for a special meeting to adopt the 17-18 district budget and approve all final budget amendments for 16-17 school year.
Questions? Need a motion?
I move. Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. Maintenance repair contract on the elevators.
Yes, sir.
Make sure we got the,
Yeah, get that one in there. We need that one.
Good evening. Background on this RFP was issued for elevator services. It expires August 31 of 2017. District issued a request for proposals for elevator maintenance and repair. We have 8 elevators currently. We will have 11 once Legacy comes off of its warranty, but for right now it'll be 8. We will do the other 3 as a change order at the end of the year next year to whoever is awarded this contract. 2 elevator contractors submitted the RFPs. They were evaluated and ranked on the selection criteria in the RFP. The proposals ranged from $12,800 to $16,800. An EMR Elevator Incorporated was the highest ranked firm based on the selection criteria with the yearly fee of $12,800. As staff recommendation that the board approve EMR Elevator for a yearly fee of $12,800.
on the new elevators, do they have a warranty?
Yes, sir. We've gone, Resnick is being added on this RFP for the 1 elevator it has, but then the 3, there's 2 in Legacy High School and 1 at the press box. Those will be added next year. At this time next year, we'll do a change order to the contract.
No, but what I'm getting at is the warranty on the new one's a year, 6 months, or?
It's 1 year.
1 year.
Yes, sir. And it takes effect, it'll actually be probably for the 2 inside the building, it'll be in March of next year, and then the 1 for the press box will be August next year.
Other questions?
I'll move.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. Moving on to curriculum and instruction, the REP 1617.
So I'm actually going to turn this over to Brandon because he is much more familiar with the process. But before I do that, I want to thank some people in his division and my division for making sure that this got done, because we had never done something like this before in curriculum instruction. But a big shout out to Mark Figueroa, Francis Barcenes, and Michelle Burnell for helping my division put it together. After I kind of had thrown up my hands and said I quit, I'm not doing this anymore. And so if it wasn't for them, we really would not have been able to move forward with this recommendation. So thank you very much for y'all's help and assistance. And now, can you explain what we did?
Yes. What we've done is over the last couple of years, we've implemented EDGAR, which is our compliance with federal programs. Also with dealing with our own compliance and procurement methods. Our district's just grown, and we're spending lots of money on a lot of different items, especially instructional supplies through curriculum instruction. So we've been struggling with paperwork and also being compliant and making sure that we're following all the laws and the procedures of the district, and also with the state and with the federal guidelines. So back in early on, before we even sent out the RFP, we met with CNI and came up with a plan to help better the process, so that we don't have people waiting on trying to order the things they need tomorrow, 2 months from now. And so we did release an RFP for instructional supplies and consulting. We had about 92 proposals sent back to us, which was probably about 85% of the different vendors that we use. And so that was good. We opened those proposals on June 20th. Curriculum instruction and the purchasing office had basically went through, because you have 92 proposals. That's a lot of proposals to go through and evaluate. And we're coming to the board to award vendors that met those proposals, that fit the district's needs. Not every vendor is going to be awarded based on commodity. We didn't get enough vendors for, let's say, the writing consultants. We had 1 vendor, and we don't want to just handcuff the curriculum instruction or our campuses with 1 vendor. So we're asking the board to approve the instructional materials supply list, and you have it in front of you. These are the different vendors we'll use for instructional materials and supplies throughout the district. The second page has the different consulting services that we are going to award based on the needs of the district, and also the online softwares, because those are high numbers that we spend lots of money on different softwares like Read 180, Math 180, and the different products that we have out there. So we're also setting a threshold of 2.5. That's kind of pretty much what we spent last year on all these types of materials, so that we still stay within the number, within the budget numbers that we have in everybody's budget. If we do exceed that, we'll come back to the board and get that approval from you guys. And so this is to streamline our compliance issues, but also make it a lot easier on our end users so that we can get paperwork and things and processes faster, so that our teachers and people who need things get them a lot faster. And so the recommendation is that the board approve these services and products at a threshold of a 2.5 million for the RFP 1617-017 for curriculum instruction supplies, software and services.
Questions?
Questions?
A lot of work there.
Yes, it was.
I forgot to mention Jesse and Mark really started the process for us, and that, putting that together was a ton of work. So Jesse Garcia took the lead on that. But if it wasn't for Mark and Francis and Michelle really putting together some finite things on paper, we really would have spent probably our entire summer in CNI trying to figure out what we were going to do with this RFP. So thank y'all very much. Appreciate it.
I move that we approve that.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. All right, one more thing.
Yes, I want to take a point of privilege. It's been a really hard summer, this summer. Been a lot of things happening. I just want to thank our senior staff members. I mean, they were extremely dedicated, very hardworking people. I have no idea how Brandon didn't have gray hair on his head this year. We've been through the summer. But I want to thank them publicly. I want to thank you guys as well for your flexibility because of that hard summer. Some of these items don't make it even work with the city council tonight, and that means there has to be a really huge level of trust on your part that you need to get the time to read it. We'll get better at this as we kind of get into our routines again and get the year started. We're excited. We have 1,900 employees, plus employees returning this Friday. I think we're excited. I think we're ready. And, we're planning for a really great school year coming up, 2017, 2018. Home of two comprehensive high schools, and it's going to be really great experiences for students and staff. So thank you, and congratulations again. We're going to kind of celebrate this over time, so we'll have more folks in the audience next month's board meeting, where we expect to make an announcement and maybe even break a little bread with our trustees.
These are the ones you threatened.
No, these guys are just cool. They just want to come.
But what do we have to do to win the top 5? I mean, really?
You have to get a good
Who
superintendent.
else does it better?
What did he say? You gotta get superintendent.
Longevity,
You gotta
does
hope
it better school district? Is it just who you know, or what?
We have a better chance.
Really, that's kind of,
You know, there's a lot of politics beyond here.
Yeah.
Basically, the selector is the last year's winner.
You know, you would think you had a little pool. Well, we're still on the record for it.
Do we still have to go?
Yes.
Only have one suit. It doesn't fit. What else we got? Anybody? All right, under Texas Government 551.146-115, we go into executive session.
Well, I was gonna say, you would think now off the record.
To item 7, superintendent's recommendation on personnel.
I move we approve the superintendent's recommendation on personnel.
go ahead.
I second that.
We get a third. Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. One more thing, sir.
Yes, a few things. So this Friday, August 18th at 7 p.m. in Titan competition, it'll be Southwest Legacy High School versus Southwest High School volleyball match. So if any of you are in the Friday at 7
Saturday?
This Saturday. We get 2 scrimmages this year because we have spring football, so we get.
Okay, well, I thought it was the fall, the big one.
Because they have, the 19th, the following weekend, we have a scrimmage against Stevens, I believe, and then we have the game the 30th, the first week of school.
Is the volleyball a scrimmage or
Convocation Wednesday, the 23rd, 8:30.
What's going on with that? There's a theme, what's going on?
We have to wear a tuxedo. Everyone has to wear a suit, so Mr. Sullivan.
I'm out.
Cameras, lights, camera, educate.
Lights, camera, educates the theme, and it's an Oscar theme convocation. So, we are asking everyone to dress like business formal attire, as you would dress at an Oscar event. Or the campuses are also, playing along and doing like a movie theme, so they're picking movies and they're going to see at the movie as well.
I thought it was Oscar Mayer Wiener.
James, you can go as Justin Bieber. Just wear torn
They make
pants.
great commercials, though.
He dresses
Oh,
like
I guess I better take my costume back.
Monday, the
You showed up with it
28th,
anyway.
the first day of school, followed by 2 public meetings, optional flex day, and of course, our budget, followed by a board meeting.
It's a busy day for y'all.
Be a good day.
A good day,
On the first day of school,
a very
no one
good
reaches
day.
out to central office.
What else?
And we have the schedules, the athletic schedules were in the printer. And your district passes, they're getting tomorrow at the DEC meeting, Eagle Pass, so we'll get them out as they go live.
Anybody else?
Anything else? Anything else?
I'm sure you did. but that's okay.
All right, we're adjourned at 8:38.